Okay, now you're asking yourself, okay, so I understand the concepts now. Which troops should I use? Well, that really depends on your opponent's base and what troops you think are most effective against your opponent's base. So, and obviously it has to do with what your troops are and how effective they are, and you also have to factor in what you are good at. Some folks are good at using air troops, some folks are good at using ground troops. So you have to basically decide what you're good at, what your opponent's base is, what troops do you believe are most effective to carrying out your strategy to win against your opponent. So that's up to you. That's part of the fun. You know, there is no, oh, do this, do that, and then bam, you're going to be good, you're going to be perfect. The answer is no. You know, you're going to have to figure those out yourself. It's part of the game. But what I'm going to do in this video here is to explain some basics of what not to do and what to do, in a sense, I guess. So the first thing you want to know about war is that you never, ever, ever create goblins. Okay, goblins. You're not trying to steal loot. A goblin's main purpose is to steal loot. They will go for loot before they go to attack. So they basically are pretty much useless in war. Never create goblins for war. Now for spells, spells are a little bit more tricky because you know you have to know which spell to use, which spells not to use. But for a general, for I would say for for new people, you're not gonna have to worry about the rage spell anyways because you're not gonna have it. So basically, it's gonna be between the lightning spell or the healing spell. Now, my general recommendation for new people is always use the healing spell. Okay? The only time you use the lightning spell for new folks are for two reasons and two reasons alone. Number one, you don't have the healing spell. If all you have is the lightning spell only, then yes, you use the lightning spell. You're gonna have to. But if you have the healing spell, then I would recommend the healing spell. The only other time that I would ever recommend the lightning spell for any new folks is if and only if you know for a fact that your lightning spell is going to take out a very specific object on your opponent's war base. So let me give you an example. So here we are back to this attack here against Allison, and this time I'm going to emphasize my lightning spell. As you can see, the main purpose of the lightning spell is to take out this air defense. So the only time I would recommend you ever using a lightning spell is if and only if you know that the lightning spell is going to take out a very specific object on the map that you want. That would be the only, well, that would be the second, the one of two. That would be the only other reason as to why I would recommend you use the lightning spell. Now, of course, like I said, if you're an advanced player, in COC, then you would know when and when not to use lightning spell. But if you're a new person, that's my general recommendation. Only use the lightning spell to take out a very specific object in the map that you want out of the way. Okay? That's the only other time you want to use a lightning spell.